Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of very interesting bodybuilding updates. The first one is about Regan Grimes, and let's say about Milos Sarcev as well. So, officially, this partnership has ended. Milos Sarcev is no longer Regan Grimes' coach. Why is that? Was this the right decision? I don't know. I think Regan did really well with Milos Sarcev, especially this year. For example, at the Italy Pro, I think Regan was at his absolute biggest, fullest. He was in decent conditioning. At the next show, he even managed to beat Nathan Diasha. So I think Regan did very well with Milos Sarcev, especially for somebody who is not really doing what their coach is asking them to do in the off-season. I think they were only doing the preps. Regan was doing his own thing in the off-season, and it wasn't much. He never really pushed his body. He never really went above 300 pounds for the past 5 years or even more. But I think Milos always managed to bring Regan in as full, as big as possible with conditioning that was good enough to win pro shows. So, to be honest, I did not expect this. I thought Regan was still working with Milos. Milos wasn't really mentioning Regan at all recently, so I thought something was fishy. But now at least we know. Now we know Regan is no longer working with Milos. Who is his next coach? Well, he kinda told us here. Let me play it for you.
Secret. Whoever it is, I'm just I believe and trust in this guy so much. He has an amazing track record. He's been just killing it with his clients. He has not, as far as I can see, hasn't missed with anybody. He had, let's just say this, over 10 Olympians competing at the Olympia. So if you can take a guess from there, it's a pretty good clue.
It's Stefan Kinsel. Of course, it's Stefan Kinsel. So he's the only guy that had that many clients on the Mr. Olympia. He's the guy that really hasn't missed a mark with any of his guys recently, and that is becoming a really successful, really popular coach. And if Regan has an opportunity to work with him, yeah, sure, of course he would take it. Again, I think he did well, he did great with Milos, but yeah, Stefan, especially lately, has been killing it. And like Martin Fitzwater said, after the Mr. Olympia, there were more than, I think, 8 guys who approached Stefan, 8 open bodybuilders, top open bodybuilders, who asked Stefan to coach them, and apparently he's not accepting everybody. So if Regan has this opportunity to work with Stefan, then yeah, he should definitely take it. I can understand that. And maybe Stefan can bring something new out of Regan. Now, Milos Sarcev in the off-season, he's really hardcore. He's the kind of guy you hire when you're willing to go 101% into bodybuilding. And I think Stefan is a little bit more mild, more, let's say, understanding, more accepting of certain things. Milos is all about maximizing everything, and I think Stefan, especially in the off-season, is he probably understands that Regan is not that into bodybuilding. He's doing it, he's competing, he's training, he's eating, he's doing everything, but he's not willing to sacrifice too much of his social life to do 2 workouts a day or freaking giant sets every time and do a whole bunch of insulin and sugar and a bunch of food, a crazy amount of food, a lot of protein as well, and everything like that. Again, Milos is somebody you hire when you are willing to go to that next level. But if you want somebody that's gonna adapt to your needs, then I think Stefan is definitely a better choice. And this is what Regan looks now that he's working with Stefan. I don't know for how long they have been working, but in that video, Regan says that he sent his updates to his coach and he told him what to do. So they have been working for a while now. I don't know for how long. Regan still didn't really announce it officially, but he gave us a pretty good hint. It's quite obvious that Stefan Kinsel is Regan's new coach. What do you guys think? What can Stefan really do with Regan? Regan, again, in the offseason is his same self, as usual, 300 pounds with his same level of body fat percent. He looks exactly the same pretty much every year. Milos was able to make progress with Regan during the prep and peak him the way he looks as big as possible with good enough conditioning. I wonder what will Stefan do with Regan. Can he really bring something better from Regan? What do you guys think? Tell me down below. Alright, the next thing we got is a physique update from Rafael Brandao at 1 day out of Romania Pro in his hotel room, and the lighting here is not exactly great, but you can get the idea of what Regan looks like now that he's carved up, now that he improved his conditioning from the Mr. Olympia. He definitely improved it significantly. At the Mr. Olympia he was way off, he was super watery. Now he definitely got more conditioned, but it seems like he lost a decent amount of size. How will that work out against a monster like a Kim Williams? I don't know, we'll see, but basically what Rafael says is that he believes he will be better at this Romania Pro than he was even at the Arnold Classic earlier this year. Do I see that? I think he's going to be more conditioned, yeah. But is he gonna have the same size and fullness like in the Arnold Classic? I mean, I don't know, guys. I think his protocol for the Arnold Classic was a little bit different. I think he was like really full and really big coming to the Arnold Classic, and then he dried out at the last moment. And this time around, he looked really shredded, really lean and dry weeks before the Romania Pro, and hopefully they're gonna try and bring the fullness up, before the show. How is that gonna work out? I don't know. I'm really not sure. I think there is a possibility now of Rafael actually losing this show. And his plan, apparently, is to skip the Prague Pro. And if he loses Romania, he's gonna do the Portugal Pro that is 1 week after the Prague Pro. Why? It's because he doesn't want to peak back-to-back. Because he thinks it's not enough time for him to peak again. I think this is the stupidest decision that Rafael ever made in his life. I think if he wins or loses Romania Pro, he should definitely jump into the Prague Pro and stand on the freaking stage next to Chris Bumstead and use this very unique once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to stand next to the most popular bodybuilder in the history of bodybuilding, if you exclude bodybuilders who did the movies, who went to Hollywood. And I'm obviously talking about Arnold. He's the only guy that is more popular than Chris Bumstead, the only bodybuilder, but he didn't become popular only because of bodybuilding. Back in the day, bodybuilding wasn't that popular of a sport. So Chris Bumstead is the most popular bodybuilder of all time by far, and Rafael has the opportunity to stand next to him, to beat him, or at least push him. And he's gonna just say no, because I don't want to peak 1 week after my show. What the hell, man? What the hell? What are you thinking, dude? This is the worst decision I heard about, the most horrible decision I've heard about since I've been doing this YouTube thing. I mean, he's gonna miss the biggest opportunity of his life, basically. Prague Pro this year is the second most popular show of the year after the Mr. Olympia. I think it's more popular even than the Arnold Classic. We get to see Chris Bumstead in the open bodybuilding division probably for the first and the only time ever. Man, I don't know how to explain this, but if he actually does this, if he actually skips the Prague Pro, he's gonna make the worst decision of his life and he's probably gonna regret it forever. Somebody's gonna tell this guy, what the hell are you thinking? Do the freaking Prague Pro. I mean, don't miss this freaking huge opportunity. I don't know, man. I'm getting upset just thinking about this, and he's probably not gonna watch this video or do what I think he should do, but it is what it is. He apparently is gonna skip the Prague Pro. I mean, guys, tell me down below. Am I crazy? Am I not making sense when I'm saying this? What the hell? And the thing is, he would mash up so well with Chris Bumstead. He's basically the most aesthetic guy as far as the top open guys. He has a great front lat spread. I want to see that next to Chris Bumstead. And he can definitely beat Chris. I'm not saying he would and he will, but he definitely can. Yeah, sure, he probably won't win the Prague Pro, but man, I mean, I don't think I need to explain this anymore, guys. I think you understand very well. And he improved his conditioning. He definitely looks better here than at the Mr. Olympia, and Chris is gonna be very conditioned, so I'm sure he can peak after the Romania Pro 1 week after, just deplete for a few days and, carb up if necessary before the show. I mean, it's very easy to peak back to back. I think it's much more simple than when you have 2 or 3 weeks in between the shows. And I'm sure he's tired from competing earlier this year and then for the Mr. Olympia. He did Arnold Classic Brazil. Now he's going to do the Romania Pro. I understand it's a lot of shows, but back to back, it's very simple. I don't know, maybe his coach doesn't know how to pick him well. If that's Neil Hill's decision, then he needs to change a coach. He needs to do something because he's making the worst mistake of his life. And I don't know how I can justify this. I mean, if he was gonna stop the season after the Romania Pro, then maybe it would be a little bit more understandable, but he's gonna continue. He's gonna do the Portugal Pro after Prague Pro if he loses Romania. So, yeah, I don't know, guys. Tell me what do you think, but what can you think? You have to agree with me. It's very logical. Come on. Alright, and finally, we got an update from Elliot Dermond. I made a video about this guy, I think last year, when he was in his off-season, and I made a short about him as well. He's probably the most impressive-looking amateur. Yeah, that's right, amateur. In the world right now. I think he's only 25 years of age, guys. Baby, in bodybuilding years. I mean, he's a kid, basically. Why is he not a pro? He's not a pro because he never tried to turn pro. He never did a pro qualifier so far, as far as I know. That's what he told me when I asked him. And like in these shots, take a look at this one, for example, front double bicep. Man, he's looking crazy. He's looking absolutely nuts. And his conditioning for 5 weeks out, it's already very good. It's already basically like he's 1 week out. Or like he could probably step on the stage tomorrow, if you ask me. And win a pro card. If I was him, I would just travel to the Prague Pro, do the amateur, and then do the open division next day, because he's definitely going to win a pro card over there. Like from the front, he has some crazy freaking body parts. The legs are looking massive. His chest is striated. His legs are a little bit shorter than his torso. He kind of seems short, but what he told me, he's actually not that short. I don't know if he's lying, but he told me something like 5'11". I don't see it. I mean, based on the kitchen in the background, he seems a lot shorter, but I don't know. That's what he told me. There is also an issue about Elliot Dermond, and that's his back. His back is definitely not up to par with the rest of his physique, but you can, for example, compare him to Kim Williams. You know, this back double bicep is on the level of Kim Williams, and everything else is also on the level of Kim Williams. So I think this guy is definitely going to be one of the top pros soon. And as far as the back, it's a very common issue with the new pros. He's definitely going to improve that back over time. I mean, the insertions are not great, but he can definitely work on that back and make it better. I'm pretty sure he has trouble connecting with that back because of how big his freaking arms are and pretty much everything else. But just give him a couple of years. I'm sure that back will catch up and it's going to look decent. It's never going to be the strongest body part of his, but there is definitely room and potential for growth because, again, he's only 25. He's an amateur still. So, yeah, I think this guy can go a long way. And, again, he's 5 weeks out. He's, in my opinion, unnecessarily shredded. Like, I don't think he should be this lean at 5 weeks out. He's going to suffer probably a lot in the next 5 weeks. And he's coached by Dom Cardone. Dom Cardone is a great coach, for sure. I've seen some of his protocols. I don't necessarily love what he's doing. From what I saw, he's kind of heavy on the anti-estrogens. I'm not big on that myself. I think, you know, it's going to help you get more shredded, but it's going to make you feel horrible, lethargic. It's going to affect your pumps, your training. And let's not even talk about your lipid status. It can definitely ruin it, but maybe he's not doing that with every client. But as far as Elliot Dermond, I mean, he looks amazing right now. Dom is doing a great job with him for sure, but I would like to see him on stage earlier than in 5 weeks. He's preparing for the MPC Nationals, which is basically the toughest amateur show. He wants to win a pro card over there. Basically, that's where he should go. That's where he can win a pro card because he is that good. But again, Prague Pro is in 1 week. I think he can win a pro card over there and stand next to Chris Bumstead the next day potentially. If I was him, I would not even dwell about it, man. I would definitely jump onto this opportunity, but I don't know. Some of these guys are not, apparently they're not marketing experts. All they care about is they look their best and how they're going to make money from bodybuilding. That's, I guess, not the most important thing to them. Some of them, obviously. Maybe he's gonna jump in. Who knows? Maybe if he watches this video and he thinks about it and he does it. I hope that's gonna happen because, again, I think he can win the Prague Pro Amateur and he can definitely be in the top mix in the pro division the next day. Something like what Nexzilla did last year. Whatever you guys think though, tell me in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more content like this about bodybuilding, subscribe to my channel, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. All the best and bye bye.